So there are lots of signs that labour may be starting. Some women may experience all of them, some women may experience some of them. Kind of really varies from woman to woman. So one sign could be the woman having a show or passing her mucus plug, which is sometimes called a bloody show because it's like a pinkish, reddish tinge of mucus. Another way to describe it, really. So if I hold up my little chart here, we've got here, you can see the uterus here, the neck of the womb, vagina, neck of the womb here, the cervix here. And you can see the cervix here is completely closed. We've got a little mucus plug in here. As a woman's getting close to her due date, the cervix kind of the collagen may break down, the cervix starts to soften, and she may lose her mucus plug here. She can have more than one show, so it may come away 7 to 10 days before labour even starts. So it's not a sign that labour's imminent, but it's a good sign the body's getting ready. And then she may have another show. Some women notice their show maybe when they're wiping themselves after the toilet, or they notice it in their underwear. Some women don't notice it at all. They might have the show and not be aware of it, or it may come away in labour. So you haven't got to take any action if you have the show. You can mention it to your midwife next time you see her. Other women sometimes have increased Braxton Hicks contractions. So Braxton Hicks contractions, or kind of warm-up surges, however you want to call them, they're when the bump goes really, really rock hard. Sometimes it points, I know with mine, I always used to point to one side and it kind of tightens. Some women get like a periody sensation with it. Some women have completely sensation-free Braxton Hicks contractions, and they don't get a pattern. So unlike labour surges, which would not always, but quite often get a pattern with Braxton Hicks contractions, they don't. They don't last very long, and some women notice they kind of ramp up a little bit as they're getting closer to their due date. Maybe the body's way of limbering up and getting ready for the big day. Other signs could be frequent bowel movements, so a little bit of diarrhea, a little bit of an upset tummy, which might not sound good, but it is. It's positive. It's your body creating as much room as possible for your baby to be born. So it's a positive sign. Other signs could be a bit of back discomfort. Some women get like a bit of a nesting instinct, or they get a sudden surge of energy, and they think they want to get their house in order and get everything ready. Or just feeling a bit different, feeling a little bit out of sorts, that kind of thing. And of course, water's releasing as well. So sometimes women's waters will release, and then her surges will start. And sometimes her surges will start first, and then her waters will release. So again, it varies. When waters release, they should be kind of clear or straw coloured. If they're browny greeny tinge, or got any foul odour to them or anything like that, and always speak to your midwife, call up the labour ward, or pop in to get checked out. That could mean that the baby's opened their bowels past meconium, which sometimes is absolutely fine, but rather than judge it yourself, always get the healthcare professionals to check you out there. Go on in and they'll have a chat with you and examine you and what have you, and take it from there. What other things could I think of? I think that's the main ones. And of course, any bleeding, you'd always go in and get checked out. And if you just don't feel right either, always go in and get checked out. Of course, keep an eye on your baby's movements. So as a woman gets more heavily pregnant, you might see a beautifully heavily pregnant woman, and some people might say, oh, there's not much room in there, that's why your baby's movements are slowed down. Well, of course, that's not the case at all. Baby's movement shouldn't slow down. Yes, there may be less somersaulty and more kind of like nudges and kind of kicking like this, rather than lots of swirling movements, but the movements should stay the same throughout. So main signs are water's releasing, maybe having the mucus plug, a bit of back discomfort, upset tummy, and having the show. They're kind of the main signs.